Have you ever wondered why sometimes it feels like you are giving everything to a man, but his feelings do not seem to reach the same depth as yours? You care. You show up. You try to be present in his life. But something feels missing. It feels like he is holding back, even if he enjoys your company. You might even ask yourself if you are not enough, or if you are doing something wrong. And that quiet question can eat at you when all you really want is a relationship where love feels mutual and secure. The truth is, many women find themselves in this exact place. They put their energy into a relationship with the hope that love will naturally grow. But what often happens is that the man enjoys the attention. He enjoys the comfort. He enjoys the closeness, yet his heart is not fully stepping forward. It is confusing because his actions may sometimes feel romantic. He might spend time with you. He might even say nice words. But deep down, you can sense he has not crossed that invisible line into true love. That is the problem most women face without even realizing it. Men do not fall in love simply because they receive care or affection. They do not fall in love just because someone is kind or supportive. There is one condition that must be met before a man truly allows himself to fall. And until that happens, you can give and give, but still not reach the place you long for. Now here is where it gets painful, because many women ignore this truth. They believe that if they are patient enough, if they forgive enough, if they show enough love, then eventually he will wake up and love them back. But what usually happens is the opposite. The more she gives without that key condition being present, the more he gets comfortable without feeling the need to move deeper. He accepts the benefits of the relationship without taking on the responsibility of love. Think about it. How many women do you know who stayed with a man for months or even years waiting for him to finally commit? Waiting for him to say those words with conviction. Waiting for him to show that his heart was truly in it. And yet nothing changed. Time kept moving. Promises kept sounding vague. And slowly she lost pieces of herself while he stayed in the safe zone of not fully loving. That is the agitation of this problem. It is not only about wasting time. It is about losing trust in your own worth. When you keep giving without that deeper connection, you begin to question yourself. You wonder if maybe love is too much to ask for. You start lowering your standards, thinking that at least having someone is better than being alone. You begin to accept half love as if it is the best you can get. And that is heartbreaking because deep down you know you deserve more. You know you deserve a love that makes you feel chosen and secure. But the longer you stay in a situation where he has not crossed into love, the harder it becomes to walk away. This is why ignoring the problem is dangerous, because it does not stay the same. It slowly grows heavier. It turns into doubt. It turns into resentment. And before you know it, you are stuck in a cycle where you are constantly proving your value to a man who is not even ready to love. That is why understanding what truly makes a man fall in love is not just helpful. It is necessary. It is the difference between years of waiting and years of being truly cherished. So let us talk about the solution. Men cannot fall in love until one thing happens. And that one thing is that he feels safe to fully invest his heart. For a man, love is not about constant attention. It is not about how much you do for him. It is about whether he reaches a point where he feels he can trust that his love will not make him lose himself. That safety is what unlocks his ability to love deeply. You see, men are taught from a young age to guard their emotions. Society tells them to be strong, to hide weakness, to not depend too much on anyone. So when a man enters a relationship, he might enjoy the comfort, he might enjoy the closeness, but he still holds part of himself back. He holds it until he feels that the woman he is with gives him a space where his heart is safe. When that space is there, he allows himself to love. When it is not, he stays guarded no matter how much time passes. Now, what does that safety actually look like in real life? It is not about being perfect. It is not about never having conflict. It is about emotional honesty. It is about him knowing that when he shares his fears or dreams, you will not use them against him. It is about him feeling that his efforts are noticed, that his presence matters, that he is not just filling a role, but is truly valued for who he is. When a man feels that level of recognition and trust, he lets his walls come down. And that is when love finally becomes possible. This does not mean you have to carry the entire responsibility of making him feel safe. Love is always mutual, but it does mean that instead of trying to prove your worth through endless giving, you shift your focus to creating real emotional connection. Ask yourself if the space between you two allows vulnerability. Ask yourself if you are listening with openness instead of judgment. Ask yourself if you are showing appreciation for the little things he does, instead of only pointing out what he misses. Those are the moments where safety grows. At the same time, remember that his safety should never come at the cost of your own. Sometimes women get trapped in the idea of fixing a man. They think that if they just hold him long enough, he will eventually feel safe. But love is not built through sacrifice alone. You also need to feel safe. You also need to feel seen. A man who is truly capable of love will not just look for his safety, he will also protect yours. That balance is what makes a relationship strong. So how do you apply this in your life? Start by paying attention to how a man responds when deeper topics come up. Does he dismiss them? Does he avoid them? Or does he try to engage even if it feels uncomfortable? Notice how he reacts when you appreciate him. Does he soften? Does he open up more? Or does he act like it does not matter? These small signals tell you whether he is starting to feel safe enough to invest his heart. Next, stop trying to earn love through overgiving. Many women fall into this trap because they are natural nurturers. They cook, they help, they forgive, they show endless patience. And while these are beautiful qualities, they do not guarantee love. In fact, if a man has not reached that point of emotional safety, all that giving can sometimes make him even more passive. He feels comfortable, but not committed. So instead of pouring endlessly into him, focus on the quality of your connection. Share your thoughts openly. Invite him to share his. Celebrate progress no matter how small. That is how safety grows. Another important step is boundaries. A man cannot fall in love if he does not respect the space you hold for yourself. When you clearly express what you will and will not accept, you show him that your love is strong but also self-respecting. Boundaries are not walls. They are guidelines that protect both of you. They show him that he can trust your yes because you are not afraid to say no. That builds safety on both sides. And finally, give love time, but not forever. A man may need space to process his emotions. That is natural. But if months or years go by without him stepping forward into real love, then you need to be honest with yourself. Are you staying in hope, or are you staying in truth? The truth is that when a man feels safe, he will move towards love. He will not just linger forever. So if nothing changes, you must be willing to choose yourself and walk away. That act of self-respect is sometimes the only way to break free from half-love. When you understand that men cannot fall in love until they feel safe, everything becomes clearer. You stop blaming yourself for not being enough. You stop giving endlessly without return. You start focusing on whether the connection is actually building trust and vulnerability. And most importantly, you stop waiting for love that may never come. Instead, you create space for the love you truly deserve. Remember, you are not asking for too much when you want a man to love you fully. You are asking for what every human heart longs for: to be seen, to be chosen, to be safe in love. When you honor that truth, you not only protect yourself from disappointment, you also give yourself the chance to experience a relationship that is real, and that is worth holding out for. So the next time you feel confused about where you stand with a man, ask yourself this: does he feel safe enough to let love in? Because until that happens, he cannot fall. And until you see it, you should never settle. Your heart deserves nothing less than real love. And when you hold that standard, you will find it.